I think we're kind of hitting the limit at how much we can break this game. This build, the Zeus V4, is probably a prime example of how file manipulation can absolutely screw with everything. So this one was actually built by Egg, but I can't use it in any of the scenarios to try it out, so I actually have to make a modification of it myself to get it to work. Well, I completely went and did away with any internal space and made the build tiny, but of course some of the add-on items are still there. But what makes this build special is the fact that there's no cannon placed on this build directly. And directly is actually the key word here, because I do in fact have a cannon. However, it is not on the tank. So you guys might wonder, where is this cannon, you might ask. So I'll just show you guys. It is, in fact, right up here. And so up far up high, that will completely ignore the forests right there, and I'm fully zoomed out. And I could just aim it wherever I want, and just immediately engage any target. And yeah, honestly, this is just very broken. I think there's the 4H on that side. Now there's going to be some builds on the right here. Goodbye, King Tiger. I think that's all the targets, but for some reason, Sprocket doesn't like this build and doesn't grant it a win. Even if I kill all the like all the enemy builds. So I don't know, Chief. I'll just finish the counter this way, I suppose. Because the end benefit of having the gun externally mounted is you can actually go and shoot yourself. Really crazy design built around this very scary cannon. So, for one of the key knives, you might already realize that something is very, very wrong with this gun. Namely, it has not a number amount of armor penetration, which in the game translates to having infinite armor penetration for some reason. Because what the creator did is he made the gun have a negative amount of shell length, which completely bugs out the game. And it will treat the game as if the shell length is actually infinite. So it will completely cap out on muzzle velocity and give it a infinite amount of armor penetration. So giving it for some reason negative amount of required burn off for the barrel. Of course, one thing I did have to do is actually lengthen the barrel here, which the original creator did not do, because without it, well, the accuracy is kind of all over the place. I'll kind of show you guys real quick. The accuracy is really like flying all over the place. You really don't want that, so I lengthened the barrel there to make it more accurate. But because of the negative shell length, the reload time is also extremely quick, because it's technically a very, very tiny shell with a very tiny amount of volume. So it reloads instantaneously despite not having like a overly large crew size loader. And all in all, it just results in pretty much an unbeatable build. Because despite anything having, again, negative damage, another result of the negative shell length, it still somehow just kills everything in one shot. And even if it didn't have the infinite armor penetration, it would still basically penetrate any build because it's firing from up above. So yeah, I don't think even that like something like the Shannock main battle tank, of course being known for being able to fire on the move at very high speeds, will be able to defeat a build like this, even if this build had like a legit amount of armor penetration, simply because the gun will be attacking the top armor, where stuff like MBTs would have no protection whatsoever. So yeah, I don't think anything can build, like any build can beat something like this, a top-mounted gun. Like, the AI actually start shooting straight away, so they actually have a decent chance at hitting a build like this and maybe disabling it if the build actually forgoes our protection. But this build doesn't go like armor protection and is actually very decently armored with 250mm armor on the front, and having, of course, this very tiny profile despite looking way bigger than it actually is. It's another weird trait of this vehicle. But yeah, so unless you can actually find the player that's using this while simultaneously not being spotted by whoever is using something like this, getting close to him enough to actually maybe get a side or rear shot in, it's very, very difficult. So I do hope actually that at least the not a number penetration bug will be fixed eventually by the developers, because that one is very easy to abuse. But honestly, I'm not even sure I would be mad about the orbital gun that much if it was kind of like harder to aim, like if the sight wasn't able to be up high like this. Now, it probably wouldn't even be as bad, because both sides would at least need lyric line of sight, and the orbital gun would be way harder to aim than a normal gun. But honestly, I'll leave the rest of that discussion over to you guys in the comments. What do you guys think about a cannon like this, and whether it should be a legitimate thing, or whether it should be fixed by the developers? Honestly, I'm not even sure if they can fix the fact that the gun is just mounted in outer space. Although, maybe with some kind of check on whether it is touching armor. Again, who knows. But until then, I'm just kind of enjoy the view, honestly. No matter what you can say, you do figure out some funny stuff, like these big plates on either side of the map being suddenly there. And of course, you have the ability to kind of do the funny thing and shoot your own tank, which is also rather funny. Again, if I just wait enough, eventually it will converge on myself, and I'll just, yeah, shoot myself. Well, that's it. I really don't have anything else to comment on this tank. I can't really take it out in any other scenarios due to its ridiculous weight. And all in all, that's really just an open topic for discussion. Again, if you guys have any thoughts on this, please leave them down in the comments below. And maybe let's see Hamish's, the developer's voice on this as well. We'll be very interested to hear about what he thinks should be done with something like this. But yeah, hope you guys all enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one.